For quite some time, Kyrie Irving has been under fire for making anti-Semitic remarks. Nike, as well as the Brooklyn Nets, both terminated relations with the superstar following the event, and now Mark Cuban, who is Jewish himself, has provided some intriguing perspective in the Kyrie matter. What could it possibly be? What kind of influence did he have? Let's take a closer look. First and foremost, what did Kyrie Irving do? Kyrie Irving has always been a controversial figure, not just in the NBA, but in the entire world. He's always managed to ruffle a few feathers, but we think he may have done the impossible. In the most recent incident, he uploaded anti-Semitic advertising content for a film on the networking site. Irving received a lot of hate on social media as a result of the incident. Hatred towards any group, regardless of race, is immoral for any cause. Kyrie's brand relationship with Nike was terminated as a result of the incident, and he was also suspended indefinitely by the Brooklyn Nets. Things are not going well for Kyrie. What are Mark Cuban's thoughts on this? This episode drew so much attention that Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban opted to weigh in with his own point of view, and despite his own Jewish background, he came out as more understanding than others. It was a shocking but intriguing take on the situation. Cuban stated that instead of Kyrie, or Ye, if some other person shouted this on the street, you would just think they're nuts and move on. People are paying more attention to Kyrie and Kanye because they both have celebrity status and a platform. He believes that both of these men have a decent heart and are unaware of the impact their comments have caused. How bad are these remarks? It's horrible enough in the first place, but still not being apologetic for it is quite different. Before being cut from the Brooklyn Nets team, Kyrie was given the opportunity to make amends by giving a public apology for things he had said. There were some bad points made there, but he still refused to give a sincere apology and recognized that his words were anti-Semitic. If you look closely, you'll notice that Kyrie wasn't simply unwilling to apologize. The problem goes far deeper. Because the gentleman isn't willing to believe that what he stated or did was even vaguely anti-Semitic, many people have labeled the entire incident as Kyrie not being adequately educated on the subject. What we mean is, much like Kanye West, Kyrie may not have realized the magnitude of his acts and just didn't get a high level of knowledge of the subject at hand. He may not have intended it to come out that way. What makes Cuban's statement so significant? First and foremost, Mark Cuban is Jewish. Therefore, his unique viewpoint on the problem provides optimism for Kyrie's future. He discussed how he believes that it's simply a case of Kyrie not being aware of the situation itself. He's a star basketball player, and he's indeed been offered a platform where people would pay attention. So for him to be encouraging such information and figures without fully understanding what it might indicate for the Jewish community or any additional ethnicity is a risky thing to do, especially in these times. He spoke on the negative influence Kyrie might have if he had continued to push such content unchecked. We must be thankful that the NBA and Brooklyn Nets intervened, as the situation could have gotten a lot worse than it is now. The expectation here is that Kyrie would use his suspension from the Nets productively and learn from his mistakes, and that such an incident will not reoccur throughout the following season. Though given his status of a wild card, it might be a little too much to ask. He's been quite crazy in recent years, and we don't expect him to slow down soon. Nevertheless, we'll have to sit tight and see how it all plays out in the end. Is Kyrie really that bad? At least among celebrities, there's an agreement that he has a decent heart, but a horrible method of expressing himself on social media sites. This has a negative impact on his career, and if he proceeds on this path without receiving guidance on how he may use this platform for betterment rather than wickedness, we may not see him in the NBA again. The disturbing issue here isn't that he has been banned on media platforms, but that he's not even ready to admit that he was incorrect in the first place, which implies the guy was wandering around with this crap in his head, thinking it was the usual and that these ideas are correct. Thankfully, he was perceived before the situation worsened and serious harm was done. People have gradually realized that these celebs have a massive platform and a cult-like following. Therefore, how they utilize the platform matters. Saying the wrong thing anywhere could result in someone getting hurt somewhere. We believe Cuban's take on the entire incident is reasonable and worth considering. Mark Cuban has been involved in the basketball world for quite some time, having been the owner of the Dallas Mavericks since January 4th, 2000. In other words, he's been around since the Michael Jordan period to the present day, and given his longevity, we'd believed he'd earned a valid view on the GOAT argument. He discussed the several elements that would impact his decision while answering this question. He talked about how LeBron James simply boosts entire teams and make them stronger overall. But when it pertains to game changers changers and the capability to close, Jordan takes a prize. He mentioned how LeBron is also a tremendous closer who comes in clutch for his team on a regular basis. But if Cuban had a world-class team and the game was on the line, he'd have chosen Michael Jordan since no one comes close to hitting game winners as well as buzzer beaters like Jordan. When it comes to athletes, he can confidently conclude that Michael Jordan was indeed a rare variety. His athletic capabilities and exploits on the court propelled the NBA to new heights. He became a living legend, and everyone gathered at the court merely to see him perform incredible and wonderful miracles. It's no surprise that he's the wealthiest basketball player in history. He's also a big philanthropist. During his lifetime, he founded various charities and contributed to major ones. In other words, he has made it a priority to give back to his community. As much as he's risen in fame, Cuban's also spoken about how impressed he was with Jordan's demeanor, describing him as a truly kind guy who didn't treat others as if they were below him. Jordan's aura, passion for basketball, and work ethic established his position as the greatest player to ever lift up a basketball. Jordan is the GOAT, after all. Where credit is due, credit is given. He contributes to the basketball game being a worldwide craze. The small-time American sport had unexpectedly developed a massive international following. Michael Jordan played a significant role in this. He's been a star for a time and has demonstrated his fierce competitiveness. MJ taking things seriously isn't just a meme. The wrong gesture may enrage the superstar, and your team could be in for a battering the next time they meet the GOAT on the court. If Kyrie Irving does not rejoin the team, the NBPA may take action. Kyrie Irving is yet to be reinstated by the Brooklyn Nets. According to NBA insider Mark Stein, the NBPA may soon intervene if the franchise halts Irving's return to the team. Irving, according to Stein, is eager to join his team. However, there has been no word on when the Nets guard will be ready to return to action. Previously, NBPA Vice President and Boston Celtics standout Jaylen Brown stated that the terms provided to Irving were excessive in comparison to Irving's behavior. Following Irving's ban, the franchise assigned him 6 duties to perform. The conditions was that Irving could rejoin the team only after the completion of the tasks. According to reports, Irving recently met with the Nets owner, who tweeted that he was confident Irving had no enmity for any culture or group. The last activity on the list was to meet with the Nets owner. As a result, Irving may be considered to have successfully fulfilled all the tasks. Despite this, the franchise has yet to announce Irving's comeback. Making an offensive comment to any community is not acceptable on any grounds. Instead of rationalizing one's behavior, one should apologize and not repeat them. Do you think what Cuban said was significant? What type of global impact did his statement have? Tell us in the comments.